I seen the river in 1996, well before I moved up here, and it was nearly full. Actually, in patches was flowing out into the billabongs and that. And that was a beautiful sight to see so much water. So yeah, I think it must be a bit like the old man. Apparently, he said to Mum, I don't even think I was born then. He wanted to buy a station up near Deniliquin on the frontage of some river. And she said no way, she'd never live out in the country like that. Well, maybe I'm sort of doing what he wanted to do, you know. Mum and Dad have been dead now for, I don't know, 5 years, something like that. There was no ties back down south to hang around with, like Christmas and all that sort of thing disappeared. So yeah, I just thought, well, move on up here. Something I always wanted, and yeah, here I am. When me and the missus first come out here, yep, she loved it. She loved it before we come out here, but she didn't last long. She pissed off in about 6 or 8 months. But I can notice it, you know, like she was just sort of becoming so withdrawn, and I'd just say to her, you know, what's wrong? What's the matter? You're not happy? And, oh, it's hot, I'm tired, or, you know, just stuff like that. I never ever got the truth out of her. And yeah, next thing, she said to me, that's it, I'm leaving. And maybe perhaps the isolation out here was just too much for her. When the missus shot through, I sort of went down with depression. It's a bloody hard life out here by yourself. We're only sort of sitting in the middle of the farm at the moment, and what's it taking us? Probably an hour to get here. So you don't just have a social life, go next door and see the neighbours, you know. Can't get near the rest. Can view though, can't I? There is a lot of acquaintances out here you'll say good day to on the way past, but yeah, not many real mates. 13 months ago, the river was that bad, I could walk across it in patches in my bare feet and not even get my toenails wet. I'd come around and check the water and there'd be dead lambs, half dead lambs. You just didn't even want to look at it, you know, that really just made you feel sick. But now, just doing the water itself, it probably only takes me about 15, 20 hours a week, you know. So really, it leaves a lot of spare time, and I think that probably that spare time was part to do if I ended up going down the tube with depression, because, you know, just chores have been done, and you get so much time to sit around and think and look and do nothing, you know. And I got bad. I was pretty close to suicidal. Even though I didn't tell the doctor that first off, but yeah. And I just sort of sit there and I remember how good the garden that used to look, and I must get out and weed that or mow that lawn and things like that, and just, that's as far as I got, just sit there and look at it. I felt that there was nobody I could talk to. No doubt there was. I could have went and talked to the tree or pet sheep or something like that, but yeah, I just felt like there was nothing out here. And I just sort of just kept on going and going and going, and eventually I just said to myself one morning, I'm going to the doc. I didn't even ring the doctor up. I just drove straight in because I know what he's like. He's only a bush quack, but I've got a fair bit of time for him. And I just said, I broke down actually, I just said, look, I need help, point me in the right direction. And he actually transferred me across to Danton in New South Wales. And yeah, Pat, the counsellor I see there, well actually I don't see him, I see him from time to time, mostly phone calls. Yeah, I like the bloke, you know, and I feel comfortable with him, I can talk to him. Because of the distance and the road condition and that, I don't see him as often as what I should, but I said mostly a phone call. But yeah, he keeps in touch and sees how I'm going, things like that. And he told me if, because they're not allowed to come on to do it, if I'm really bad, he'd be prepared to jump in the car and meet me at the end of the bitumen. You know, just to pull up under a tree and have a chat, you know, so. Even out here where we are now, it's sort of not good. You're just sitting around looking at dirt and shit like that, but to get back down home to the river and see that the flowers and the green lawn and that sort of thing, you know, that sort of really gets me going again. Yeah, I suppose that'd be a highlight of my days, just getting back and seeing that. Met up with a couple of mad people from Mildura. And yeah, made a few good friends with them. Can't get rid of her actually, she's out here most of the time now, her and her boyfriend, but oh well. It's good to have a bit of company, you know.